and the sweat of expectation rolled down the faces of those in attendance. Salty drops fell, resonating on the earth. The crowd parted, letting him through to the person he had come to see. He would place his hand on the patient's forehead or touch wounds. Many believed that the touch of his hand could heal, and thus the nickname Rukinets, given to him because of his place of birth, but rooted in the word ruka, for hand, acquired additional meaning. His doctoring skills were honed over the years, reaching at the zenith of his life heights that seemed unattainable for a human being. It was said that he possessed the elixir of immortality. It is even said from time to time that this giving healer could not die as all other people do. The basis for this opinion is that his body had no traces of decay after death, maintaining its former appearance after lying under an open sky for many days. And then it disappeared, as if its possessor had grown tired of lying there. He stood up and left. Those who think this, however, forget that only 2 people have left the earth in flesh and blood since the creation of the world. Enoch was taken by the Lord at the revealment of the Antichrist, and Elijah was raised to the heavens in a chariot of fire. Holy tradition does not mention a Russian doctor. Judging from his infrequent statements, he did not intend to reside in a body forever, if only because he had worked with bodies his entire life. Most likely he didn't have the elixir of immortality either. Somehow, things of this sort don't fit with what we know about him. In other words, one can say with certainty that he is not with us at present. It is worth adding, however, that he himself did not always understand what time ought to be considered the present. The Book of Cognition. 1. He came into the world in the Rukina quarter by the Kirillo-Belozersky monastery. This occurred on May 8th of the 6,948th year since the creation of the world, the 1,440th since the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ, on the feast day of Arsenius the Great. 7 days later he was baptized with the name Arseni. To prepare the newborn for his first communion, his mother did not eat meat for those 7 days. In expectation of the cleansing of her flesh, she did not go to church until the 40th day after his birth. After her flesh had been cleansed, she went to an early service. She prostrated herself in the church vestibule and lay there for several hours, requesting but one thing for her baby: life. Arseni was her 3rd child. Those born previously had not lived out their first year. Arseni survived. On May 8th of the year 1441, the family held a service of thanksgiving at the Kirillov monastery. After respectfully kissing the relics of the venerable Kirill, Arseni and his parents set off for home, and Christopher, his grandfather, remained at the monastery. The 7th decade of his years would end the next day, and he had decided to ask Nikander, the elder, what to do next. "In principle," replied the elder, "I have nothing to tell you. Just this: live, O friend, close to the cemetery. You are so gangly that it would be difficult to carry you there. And there's this, too: live alone." That is what the elder monk Nikander said. 2. And so Christopher moved close to one of the nearby cemeteries. He found an empty log house some distance from Rukina quarter, right next to the cemetery fence. The house's masters had not survived the last pestilence. These were years when there were more houses than people. Nobody could bring themselves to settle in this sturdy and spacious but airless house, particularly next to a cemetery filled with the plague dead. But Christopher brought himself to do so. It was said that even then he pictured the further fate of that place quite distinctly, that even at that remote time he allegedly knew that in 1495 a cemetery church would be constructed on the site of his log house. The church was built in gratitude for the favorable conclusion of the year 1492, the 7,000th year since the creation of the world. The anticipated end of the world did not come to pass that year, but Christopher's namesake did discover America, though nobody paid any attention to this at the time.